Hi, my name's Will. I am a fifth grade teacher and a co-founder of Edji. And today I am sitting outside. The wind chill is just about at 0 Fahrenheit, but I've got mittens on. And I am here to talk to you about a couple different things. Two questions that we get a lot being in Minnesota. First is, can you use Edji with mittens? We'll get to that question in a second. And the second question that I'm going to spend a little bit more time answering is, how can I use Edji reading? How can I use the data, the insights that are provided by using Edji? How can I use that after the students are done? What do you do when class is over, when you've gone home, when you're sitting looking at students' readings? What do you do? Well, let's answer the first question. Can you use mittens? Trying them out here on the trackpad. I'm not seeing the mouse moving. So the answer is no. You can't use mittens, at least not on a Chromebook. And I'm pretty sure they're not going to work on an iPad either. But that's okay, because that brings me to my second point. It's cold out here. I'm not going to be able to spend very much time looking at this data. I've got things to do. I've got chili cooking inside. I've got a toddler who's about to wake up. So what I want to do is show you just how quickly I can gain insights into what my students can and can't do so that I can make decisions about instruction tomorrow. So let's take a look at this text. I asked my students to read through a fifth grade text and look for two main ideas. This is a new skill for them in fifth grade, the two main ideas, and this was their first time trying it out. Looking at it right away, I can already see that they've highlighted some important details right here. These bright red things mean that 15 or more students have highlighted it, and that's a really good sign. I can also see that they've highlighted some other important details. And scrolling through it, I can see that this trend continues through about the first 2/3 of the text, but when I get to the end, very, very few students are still looking for important details. Now, perhaps that means that the end of the text just isn't that important, but I know from having read it myself that there are some important details down there and they missed out on those. So the first thing that I know I'm going to need to do tomorrow is I'm going to need to talk to them a little bit about the importance of reading through the entire text and thinking about the entire text as they construct their main ideas. So that's the whole class view. But I have a few different tools at my disposal here when I'm using Edji. And the next one that I'm going to show you is the individual student view. So I'm going to open up the individual student view. Whoa! If I'm asking my students to come up with a few details to support a main idea, and I'm asking them to find two main ideas, 24 comments is way too much. So I can already tell that Xavier is probably overthinking this process. I can see that Blake, Kana, Layla, Jackson, Eli, they're kind of in the right area as far as finding details to support the main idea. Let's take a look at what Kana did. So this is my view of Kana's reading. It's just showing her comments. And from looking at it, I can see that she highlighted the important details. These were the things that I identified as also being important details and the things that I would have put into my main idea. She says water can be expensive, might not be safe to drink. There's a machine that gives out water. And she read the entire text, even in the very closing lines of it. She's still thinking about and interacting with the text. And I can see that she's putting 100, which was something we decided as a class would represent really important. So Kana might be a good example to show other students. I could put this very screen up on the board and say, Kana gets it. This would be, a place for us to critique her work, to think about what she did well, what she might have done a little bit differently. But most importantly, it shows other students that their classmates can do this and they can too. One more tool that I want to show you before my hands get too cold and I have to run inside. And that is the recap. The recap allows you to see every single student's reading compiled into one dashboard. So I'll just go with Kana's reading. I can see that Kenna had 9 comments. The average was 3. The maximum was 24. There were some students who didn't even leave any comments at all. I can see what her comments are. She used the 100 emoji every single time, and I can see what she highlighted. And I can also leave feedback for her. So I could tell her something, like, well, my fingers are getting too cold to type, but I'm going to try. Great job. You have the right number of important details, and they are from all over the text. Pardon my typing. My fingers are starting to go numb. And I can add that feedback, and soon you'll actually be able to send this feedback to other teachers, homeroom teachers, even families, so they can see how their student is doing in the text. All right. Well, it's time for me to put my mittens back on, head back inside, and stir the chili. But I hope that shows you just how quickly and easily teachers can gain insights into what their students know and don't yet know using Edji. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the Discover feed. Bye.